Hi everyone, my name is Charu Gupta. I'm the marketing director here at InCrowd, and I'm joined today by Charlie Lonardo.
Hi, my name's Charlie. I work on the client service team here at InCrowd. I've been here for about 4 years. We have a pretty collaborative group here on the client service team, but I primarily work with our self-service users with designing their research, helping with technology, training them on our application, and all that comes along with that.
Charlie, do you want to tell us a little bit about how MicroTracker works?
Yeah, sure. This is obviously a very unique situation to what's going on in the world today, but what is consistent with what we're seeing our clients do with this tool is tracking perceptions and activities over time. And as we were developing this particular product, we went through a series of testing with our users, particularly around how they do longitudinal types of research, and we wanted to learn about what their processes were and what were some of the more time-consuming pieces of that we could, through this tool, simplify and automate for them. And we seem to find some convergence around those areas and a few others that we built into this tool that really allows users to create their survey, schedule when it's going to launch, gives them a lot of abilities to edit the survey in between waves, and then also, if there are any types of sampling requirements, be able to easily attach that on a per wave basis or over a period of time, sort of set it and forget it, that type of idea. And then on the back end, there's also a lot of analytical tools that allow them to analyze the data over that period of time to be able to pull out insights and trends.
Great. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask Charlie to set up the tracking survey that we've designed. It's a series of about 4 questions, and Charlie's going to go into our platform and show you how a tracking study gets set up to track, in our situation, a crisis. All right, Charlie, should we go into the
Let's do it.
platform?
Okay, cool. First thing we're going to do is get started by creating our micro tracker. You're first prompted by adding your title for the survey. And what you can see across the top here is a roadmap, which is really, really helpful for folks that are just getting started. It kind of walks you through all the different elements of the survey that you'll have to think about. In this case, we're getting started with the crowds, so who we want the questions to go out to. Once we've selected those, to creating our questions. And it's very, very common for folks as they get started, or even anytime they use InCrowd, to have a Word document that they've been working on either with colleagues or on their own. And if that's the case, as it is here, it really just becomes an exercise in copying and pasting. Get the copy of your question, the verbiage, and then your choices, and you paste them right into the application. And if you have multiple choices, like you can see here, we have a really cool paste in multiple feature. Can help you save a couple of seconds for each question. And ultimately what we want to do is make the InCrowd experience really, really tight, about 5 or 10 minutes. And in this case, it's a rating question, so we're going to set our Likert scale with a min and max. And so in this case, it's strongly agree to strongly disagree. And once we have the choices in there, we've set our scale, all the question text is good to go, we just move on to the next question and go back to the question type menu. And essentially that's the flow. It's really simple, and you keep doing this until the survey, I should say, is complete. And the first 2 questions here are very similar. Again, just a rating question, paste in the actual verbiage of your question, then the choices, and then define your scale. Very typical type of micro tracker in terms of its length. It's about 4, 5, 6 questions, and it's a series of rating questions or multiple choice, or in some cases open-ended responses. Really, whatever your needs are, we have plenty of question types to be able to accommodate that. And what you're seeing on the screen is really just the ease of the survey builder. Essentially, everything's just an open text box that you can, as you see here, paste in, or simply just type in your questions on the fly if that's something that you're encountering throughout your day. And I mean, the speed of which InCrowd can collect information is really meant to be able to address business questions as they come up in meetings, or, as we talked about before, addressing market events. And yeah, we want to make this a really easy experience for you. One of the things that you're going to see on this question, which is a really powerful feature, is this comments box. So in addition to being able to get your close-ended response, the next natural question is, well, can you explain why you chose that, or in this case, why you rated it in a particular way? And this makes it really easy for the respondent to make their choice and provide you that contextual information around why they rated it a particular way or why they chose a particular option, and that's all under the guise of one question as well. So it's an economical thing for you to do, but it's also really easy for the responder as well, and you can require comments, you can allow comments, whatever the case may be. And for our last question, again, pretty straightforward, just a forced ranking question. We will put our question in there, add the choices, similar to the previous questions, just define our. And once this is in there, we will be ready to go to move into the next couple of stages. Once we're done, there's a variety of tools right in the application for either applying screening logic, skip logic, branching. You can preview a survey yourself. You can send it to a colleague so you can get another set of eyes to look at it. Once all that's done, you can come to this review and launch page. For the micro tracker, you can see you can set when you want pulses to go, whether it's once a week, once a month, once a quarter. There's even an omission strategy, so if you want to get a fresh sample every time, you can make sure that folks that participated in the previous wave don't get invited to your next wave. Variety of other tools as well. You can set quotas per crowd if you like. Once that's all set, you hit launch, and then you're good to go. Invites start going out immediately.
Welcome back. That was Charlie setting up the survey, and what you just saw Charlie do was basically set in motion a full-fledged tracking study. That's save InCrowd and my team a lot of time when it comes to fielding and reporting the survey month over month. Charlie, what really took me by surprise was that took you less than 5 minutes to set up.
Absolutely. For all of our clients' experiences using our tool, we want it to be under 10 minutes. So automating that, if you sort of multiply that out wave or over a year, over a quarter, the time savings are really, you're looking at 10, 12, 30 hours, even more of time that you're saving where you could be spending that time in a better way analyzing the data.
What would you say are some analogies to using the tracker survey when it comes to other use cases?
It's a good question. Particularly has to do, or I've seen it to be very valuable in companies that work in very volatile markets. So for example, if there are a lot of new indications that are coming out in your area of expertise or where your particular product is living and existing, this can be really helpful. So when data gets released, within a matter of hours, you can get feedback from your target audience. What do you think? How is this going to affect prescribing? And it can be a very, very powerful tool, either complementing some of the other research that you're doing in different areas, or primarily being that feedback loop with the market, with your target audience.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Charlie. It's always great working with you. And so our survey should close in about a day or two, and we'll be back in a month to show you what the results were and to show you also how our second wave launched. So thank you again for watching, and stay tuned.